Welcome to another episode of Hey, I'm Just a Fan podcast. And man, what a weekend. What a weekend for your boy, man. I went to the Shaka Khan concert with my lovely, beautiful wife. And it was a good time, man. It's a good time to go to a concert and have a good time. I got there and I'm thinking like, yo, I'm seeing all these people. I'm like, man, this is kind of crazy. It's a lot of older people here. And then my wife was like, you are the older people, nigga. Like you're the old person. And I just sat there for like a good 10, 15 minutes, like, you're the old person. You're the old person. Like it just echoed in my head for like 10, 15 minutes. But it was a good time, man. The concert was at the Hollywood Bowl. Hollywood Bowl is a really good venue. It's a super dope venue. It's a venue that I eventually want to play at as a comedian. I think it's just historic. It's just something I want to have under my belt. I feel like it's, Hollywood Bowl, and was it the Garden, Madison Square Garden in New York? Those are like just venues that as a comedian, a lot of times you might want to play just because it's such a historic type venue. A lot of like legends have played at these places. So we got there. We took like a little transit bus there. You know what I'm saying? We didn't drive there because that Hollywood Bowl traffic is some of the worst traffic in LA. Like when it's packed like that, you can be stuck there for 45 minutes and not even moving. So we took our car down to a place where you can catch like a little bus that drops you off right inside the venue. And then after that, we got in there and we got there kind of early. Maseko, he was the opener for Chaka Khan, which was super dope. So we got there when he was performing. We got some food, and just venue food, man. Venue food is just one is never that great. It gets you by. That's number one. Number two, why is this shit so expensive? Why is it so expensive? Like $19 for like 3 chicken tenders, a biscuit, and some all right slaw. And I made the mistake of, because I didn't want to get chicken tenders at first, right? Because it's just chicken tenders. I want to feel like an 8-year-old. So my wife was getting the tenders, and so she was paying. So she was paying for it, but I went down to go get some snacks for us, and I went to go get some tacos instead. And as I went down there, I realized that I don't want these tacos. These tacos ain't gonna be hitting on shit. Venue tacos ain't gonna be hitting on nothing. So I went back up, got the snacks, and I was like, let me go get the tenders. And so now we ended up spending $40 for 6 tenders, but I think it was like $25 for like 7 tenders. And I was just like, you got to do better, Keenan. Just make up your mind as a man. Just make your damn mind up. The tenders were good, though. For venue tenders, they were better than regular tenders. You know what I'm saying? But we got there. I spent fucking $15 on some popcorn and a drink that was trash. This is what you gotta understand about me, all right? I am somebody that I don't mind spending money on good food or good time or whatever the case may be, but it has to be a good time. It has to be worth it. If I get food or a drink and it's not good, then I wasted my money. Then I'm pissed. Then I can't have a good time. So we get in there by Maseko's performing. Our seats weren't necessarily the best seats, but they have video stuff in there so you can kind of see up close. Only thing I like about the Hollywood Bowl is that a lot of times your seats is like bench seats, especially you sitting way in the back. It's like you sit on these bench seats, you're just not comfortable for a long period of time. It can be rough to kind of like sit down for an hour and a half or two. And you just like, my back was hurting and shit. Really, really felt like an old nigga. It's like when I got in there, I had the barbecue slippers on. Had a fedora. You know what I'm saying? I had the taco meat out with the linen. That's not what I wore, but that's what I felt like I had on when I was in the venue. But we get in there, we sit down, get our seats, and, I don't know what it is, man. White people at concerts are starting to bug me. It's starting to really piss me the fuck off, man, because a lot of them come with like I don't know, it's like a know-it-all energy. A homegirl of mine was at the concert too that I didn't know was there. And she said she had a similar issue with some white people that was sitting next to her when they were just like, who's this Maseko guy? Like, what does he do? I don't know what this is. She's trying to explain to them, and then they're being disrespectful. She's just like, all right, motherfucker, just shut up. Like, I'm done with you. And for us, when Shaka Khan came on, at the beginning, she was performing with an orchestra. So she wasn't necessarily doing all the hits yet. Like, she did like Diamonds and a couple of other things. She did mainly like covers at the beginning, cover songs at the beginning. And in that, I don't know, like the white people that was in back of us, they were just being negative, like, somebody's on drugs today. And Shaka didn't sound bad. Like, Shaka, honestly, she sounded incredible vocally. Now, I don't necessarily know Shaka's personality too much. She seems like a little bit like, okay, like, a little bit like maybe I don't want to say airy, but like she was kind of like I don't know, she was kind of like missing some not notes, but like she was kind of like just getting distracted. But she said it, she's like, I got ADD, like most of us do, right? She's like things kept distracting her, but not in the middle of her song. She got through her songs, and then in between, she would kind of have some moments where she'd be like, wait, what's that? Hold on, what's that right there? Okay, what? My bad. Let me get back to the song. But they kept saying like she's just on drugs and and they're just being assholes, and then they talked throughout the whole concert. But what made it even worse was that, well, I can't even say it made it even worse. I realized that I didn't know that Shaka Khan was on drugs like that. I didn't know. When they were saying it, I was like, who they to say this about Shaka Khan? Man, this is rude. This is disrespectful saying this about Shaka, the queen, the legend. And then my wife was like, "This, like, ladies, here's motherfucker talking about Shaka Khan was on drugs, or she on drugs right now? She probably high." She was like, she used to be on drugs pretty bad back in the day. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know. So, Shaka performs, and when she did she had the orchestra at the beginning, and then she did like not an encore, but she did like a what do you call that? An intermission real quick, like a 10-minute intermission. To come back and perform the hits. So she got out of her what she was wearing because she said she was uncomfortable. And then she came back and did the hits. And damn it, the notes that Shaka was hitting, she might be a top 5 vocalist. Shaka Khan, to me, I think she might be a top 5 vocalist. And you telling me she used to be on drugs, Evie, back in the day? That sit with them vocals? Shh. Some people stay full on sober and can't hit them notes like that. If drugs, if drugs making you hit notes like that, load it up, baby. Get it cracking, no pun intended. So she performed, of course, the classics, Through the Wire. She just performed some of the great songs, and people were in there just having a good time. I feel for you. It was just a great time, and I didn't know I wanted to know what type of drugs she was on. I get interested in stuff like that. So afterwards, I was like, let me see what Shaka was on. And then I was like, oh, alcohol and pills? I guess the pills are kind of bad, but that ain't too crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking she was on, some crazy stuff. And then I started to look up more, and this is Shaka was on that dog food, nigga. Shaka was on that dog food, bro. If those of y'all that might be too young to know what that dog food is heroin. She was on that heroin, dog. That heroin? That heroin, crack are like the two, like, ugh. Like, when you hear somebody was on no drugs, you go, ew. Meth is probably the main one of those. But when you hear like meth, heroin, crack, you be like, ugh. And you just be like, that's dirty. You're dirty. Like, it's just, I don't know. I was just like, I almost prejudged Shaka after that. But I guess, back in those days, that dog food, that was what you did. A lot of them was on. I think Ray Charles was on that dog food. If you got to be on that dog food to get legendary music, baby, I'm about to co-sign it. Somebody was like, yo, Keenan, if you want to make it as big as the biggest comedian ever, you want to be the biggest comedian ever, I'm talking about doubling Kevin Hart's money, doubling Kevin Hart and Jerry Seinfeld, Dave Chappelle status, Richard Pryor status, Eddie Murphy status. You double theirs. But you got to get on that dog food. How many times? How many times do I gotta hit that dog food? That's what I want to know. Do I gotta hit that dog food the rest of my life, or am I hitting one? I mean, I'm scared to hit it. To be honest with you, I got addiction in my family. I feel like that's why I don't do it like that. I think I said it on a previous episodes before, but I don't want to hit that dog food and now I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I do want to know for like artists like that are on drugs, especially singers like Shaka Khan. Like, was she when she was on that shit? Like when she was listening, when she was about to like take a hit of that heroin, did she also put on her hits? Like did she? Was she like I feel for you? Or she's tightening the belt buckle. I love with you. Ah, yeah, there you go, right there. Let me get that vein. I feel for you, and then to the wire, to the ball, right there to the fire. If she was putting on her own hits while taking a hit, that's probably I want to see that. I might pay to see that in concert. Nigga. I'll pay a hot little 50 to see that in action. But all jokes aside, man, Shaka Khan was great live. I've been to a lot of really good concerts, man, and it's like I'm glad that I haven't like paid for concerts that have been bad. Like I've been to see Ari Lennox, amazing, absolutely incredible voice. Whoever was opening for her too, she had there was two women on there, but one woman specifically had an amazing voice also. I forgot who it was. It was the first one that opened for her. Who else did I've seen? I've seen some stuff when I was in college. I've seen Kendrick a few times. I've seen J. Cole. I've seen who else have I seen? Childish Gambino. Yeah, and everybody that I've seen was pretty good. I haven't seen like a concert where I was just like, this is terrible, man. So shout out to Shaka Khan. You know what it is? Because I didn't want to go see her at first. It wasn't because I didn't want to see Shaka Khan, but I was just like, man, these tickets they were kind of pricey. And that's probably why you see a lot of white people at these concerts like that, because these concerts are pricey as hell, man. Like like Shaka Khan, we was in the back, bro, and we spent like, I think close to like $150 a piece almost, something like that. I think closer to the venue date, that's how you can kind of get tickets a little bit cheaper. So it was probably like $110 at that time for the same kind of seats we were at, but like still, bro. So my wife was like, oh, I want to go see this. Come on, we got to see it. And then she made a good point. It's like I missed that Prince time. Prince was doing like concerts for like $50 at one point, right? And I was like, I want to go see Prince. And then I was like, I'll go see him a little later on. And then he ends up dying, I think, a few years later. And I was like, damn, like I wanted to see Michael Jackson, who's one of my favorites of all time. And I miss Mike too. So I was just like, I gotta see the legends, man. That's what it is. I gotta start seeing more of our legends or just artists I want to see in general. If I can fit the bill, I'm gonna figure it out. Because I mean, even coming up, even with like sporting events, it's like Terrence Crawford fights August 3rd, and it's like I want to see that fight. And them tickets when they first came out, I was like, man, these Saudis niggas raised the price. Them tickets is looking like $300 for the nosebleeds. I was like, you out your fucking mind? You out your cotton picking Saudi mind? I ain't paying no fucking $300 to see this fight. You crazy? But tickets has dropped tremendously. I'm gonna wait still a few more days, closer to the venue date, of course, to see the tickets go down a little bit more. But I want to see Terrence Crawford get it in, man, at 154. So yeah, if you got time, that's been kind of like my new thing. Like I don't really splurge on a lot of stuff for real. Like I'm not a big time splurger when it comes to really anything like that. So for me, I feel like concerts and like sporting events has been my kind of thing right now. And yeah, that's what I've been kind of into, is going to that and enjoying those moments. You know what I'm saying? So a couple more sporting events to come through. Might even try to get to like a WNBA game this year. I know wifey keeps saying she wants to hit the Dodgers game. She wants to go to a baseball game. I don't know if she's ever been to one. So yeah, man, that's kind of been my new kind of thing, since I don't purchase a lot of like expensive clothes or like expensive items like that. I don't really care to. What else though? What else is on the docket, man? Oh man, I don't know about y'all, but I think I kind of mentioned this on the last episode. I might have, but that balloon popping show, man. I just seen another clip of the balloon popping show, and let me tell you something. I love it. I love every second. I don't know what it is. It's that guilty pleasure of just watching somebody's dreams get crushed right in front of them. Like you getting judged for real for the first time. And I think that's what it is. This generation, so many people in this generation, they're getting judged for the first time. Like the generation that I grew up in, like you had to holler at women in person. So you was getting judged out the gate. You didn't have a choice. They saw your appearance right there. You might have, sometimes you catch them on the bum tip. You know what I'm saying? It's like you like, oh snap, I'm not even dressed up, but I ain't gonna ever see this beautiful woman again. So I gotta go holler at her. And you go holler, and you're like, damn man, I forgot to take a shower real quick. Now you whatever it is, the case may be, right? But just watching this show is just it's the pettiness. It's really lined in pettiness and it's lined in insecurity. Because usually where the pettiness comes in is that, I think they make their rounds, right? So it's like I don't know if the men come first, and so the men are like lined up with the balloons first, and then the women come out one by one, and then, you do the pop or not. And then boom, I think they reverse it at some point where all the men get a chance to come out separately, one-on-one, versus all the women, and the women pop the balloons against the men. And in that's where the pettiness comes out. Because I'm sure some people pop the balloon especially when these girls like pop the balloon immediately on them, when it's their turn to come back around, they'd be like, fuck out of here, bitch. Like, they popping the balloon immediately. They're not even giving her a chance. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue about it. It's like, you're going off face value and you're popping the balloon. And it's just like, you don't even get to know anybody. That's not where love lies. If I want to get a little deep in this, love doesn't lie in the visual. You know what I'm saying? Usually the most attractive people are the most shallow people. It's very rare that you find somebody that's the most beautiful, sexiest, finest person in the world, and the personality matches and they're like super dope also. It's just extremely rare. And I think that's fine as long as you know what you want. But I know for me, I'm personality driven. You know what I'm saying? Looks have to be there. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you can just look hideous and I'm with it. My wife is beautiful. So it's like, and I would say in that she's naturally beautiful. It's not, she doesn't wear a whole bunch of makeup. I think when we went on our first date, she didn't really have any makeup on like that. She came pretty plain face and very modest. She came modestly dressed, and we just sat on the beach, for a while. I guess I'll tell that story a little bit later about how we actually met and stuff like that. But when you're doing these balloon popping shows, everything is like, all right, what's the swag like? Women have popped balloons on the way a dude walked out. I just didn't like the way his walk was. Like, he didn't seem confident. Like, you know how hard it is. Like, most people don't talk with a microphone in front of their face. I do it for a profession, right? And I'm not talking about for podcasts. I'm talking about as a stand-up comedian. I talk with a microphone in my face as a profession, and it can still be nerve-wracking. So for somebody that doesn't do public speaking at all, and then you put them in this particular space on top of being judged in a sense where they're being judged for their looks, not even their personality and everything like that, of course they're nervous. Of course, they might not be as confident. Like, what are you talking about? So on one of these clips that I saw, this woman that came out, right, and she was like, I think she ended up, the dude ended up popping his balloon or whatever, right? And he was just like, oh, I forgot what it was. And she was just like, oh, well, he's not, normally the host, she'd be like, so why'd you pop the balloon? And blah, 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 blah. And she was like, well, I think she actually popped his balloon. I think that's what it was. And she's like, well, is he your type? That's what she always asks. Is he your type? Would you find this person, like, would you talk to this person outside of this or whatever? And she was like, no, not really. He's too short. And the guy goes, I'm 6 foot. What do you mean I'm short? She's like, you're 6 foot? She's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. She's like, well, like I'm 5 feet, but I'm tall. I feel like I'm tall with these heels on. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not tall with these heels on. You're 5 feet. You'll never be tall. There's nothing that you can put on to make you tall. You'll never be considered tall in anybody's vocabulary at 5 feet. You can put on some stilts. You're not going to be tall. With heels on, at best, she's 5'4". She's most likely 5'3" with some 3-inch heels on. But I'll give her the extra inch of 5'4". And he was just like, I'm 6 foot. And even the host was like, no, you're wrong, lady. Like, looked at her like, you're not tall. But she's like, I feel tall. That's the thing. Women are terrible at, like, deciphering what height and size, like the actual height and size really are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had women tell me on multiple occasions that we were the same height. And like I said, I'm 5'9". I'm not that tall, but they're not tall at all. They're like 5'2". And they'll be like, yeah, we're like around the same height. I was like, what do you mean around the same height? They're like, yeah, I'm 5'2". You're like around 5'5". I said, I'm not no damn 5'5". Like, I'm not going to give you, I'll play smaller than what I am at times for the joke. You know what I'm saying? For like sketches I've played lower than my height before just to be funny. But to say that I'm actually 5'5", you know what it is? Women, if they can see you in their eyeballs, if they can see you in their iris and their retina, if they can see your face in any of that, you're short to them. That's what I've noticed. Women go off their height based off what they can see with their eyeballs. If they can see your face, if they can see the top of your head, you are short. Not realizing that they got to like lift their head all the way up to see you. They go, oh, that's the size you are. You must be around an inch or two of me because I can see your forehead. It's like, no, that's not how it works. I'm 5'9", like I said before. My closest friends, two of my closest friends are 6'2", right? I don't have to alter my neck to look up at them. I don't have to stand on my tippy toes. I don't have to, like, I don't know, straighten my back up to feel like a little bit taller. I don't have to do any of that. All I got to do is adjust my eyeball slightly, boom, and I can see them perfectly. That's it. But I still know that they're taller than me. I don't go like, well, they're my height because I can see them. I don't. What are y'all thinking, man? Women look at it like this. If they can only see the bottom of your chin, that means you're taller than them. That's what it is. They can see either at the max the top of your chin to the bottom of your chin, under your chin. If they can see under your chin, they'll be like, damn, that nigga must be tall. Was you like 6'11"? That's how they all look at height right there. If they can see that, they don't understand height at all. So when y'all sit here and y'all cast off all these quote unquote short guys, they don't be short. All right, I said this before and in stand up and everything like that. You should only be allowed to date your heel height if you want to be honest. If you're talking about moving society forward and getting us stronger as a society, women shouldn't be able to go taller than their heel height. So at her being 5 feet, 5'3", 5'4" is the tallest she should be able to go, to be honest with you. That's the tallest she should ever be able to ask a man to be. Other than that, shut your ass up, man. All right? You're a little person at that point. You are genetically inferior. You are the person that is messing up the future athletes, right? You are the person that is essentially possibly messing up your son's height, so other women are going to destroy him later on for quote unquote being too short. You're the reason for that. You know that, right? It's your fault. Always remember that you're the genetically inferior one. Unless you're like some type of short athlete, like a Simone Biles or something like that, Sha'Carri Richardson, where you're just like just a dog, like they're genetically in a space where they are just better than probably most athletes or people in the world because they are, then that's different. But if you just short and you just work a regular job, shut your goofy ass up and be grateful. And I'm being serious. I'm laughing, but I'm being serious. Shut the fuck up, man. My wife is 5'6". All right? I'm 5'9". I think she's actually 5'5", but she keeps saying she's 5'6". She wants all her inches. And now that she got locks and she be putting them up in a little bun or whatever, she wants her 5'6". But when and I'll say she's probably close to that, right? Because when she does put on heels, we're damn near at the same height, if not the same height. So I'll give her 5'6", right? But she didn't trip on me. She didn't say, well, we had this great date and we had a special moment and everything like that. She didn't go, well, all that's out the window because he's too short. That's so goofy. So stupid, man. Like the balloon popping show, I still love it, though. It's one of those, it's the guilty pleasure. I've seen a dude legit when a woman walked out, right? It was this big girl, right? This little hefty chick walked out. She wasn't that attractive also on top of that, right? Because there's cute big girls out there. So that's not necessarily an issue. But she was unattractive and she was hefty. And when she walked out, everybody popped the balloon. It sounded like machine guns. Like, but one dude put his balloon on the ground and he jumped in the air high as hell to stomp on his balloon. And I'm like, see, this is the problem. And that's usually on the young boys one. When like the younger, like the 20, the 18, and like the 25-year-old versions of Pop the Balloon, they're way more reckless. That's the crazy part. At least when my generation is doing the Pop the Balloon, there's some kind of respect there, right? In some cases, there's a little bit of respect to where it's just like, I don't want to necessarily embarrass this person on purpose. But the young kids, they going for the clip. They don't give a shit about who they hurt. They're like, yo, if this can go viral by me dogging this person out, fuck it then. they get this work. And I just love it, man. I don't know. I don't watch reality TV like that. I don't watch a lot of TV like that. That's the thing. I watch mainly stuff on the internet now. I just haven't been watching a whole bunch of TV besides like some shows here and there that I hear about that are just amazing. But I probably do more of my watching of stuff on the internet. So that's why I end up falling into the balloon shit. And I was like, this shit is stupid. But I couldn't stop watching. It's like, man, I don't know. It's like when the first time I saw Flavor of Love, I was like, man, this shit is stupid. And I was like, man, I can't put it down. I can't change the channel, baby. Then I eventually had to get up out of that cycle of reality TV, man. But what's y'all guilty pleasure, huh? First of all, do y'all watch the balloon show? And do y'all like the shit? On the low, like, just let me know. You can let me know in the comment section on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. Let me know if you rock with the balloon popping show. And what's your guilty pleasure of like TV? Like that you like, somebody told me watching that, I might be a little bit embarrassed. The balloon popping show, that's pretty much it for me. I don't think I have anything too crazy besides that. Yeah. So this next story, before I get to that, I hate that sometimes I got to look on Twitter to see what I bookmark for like my stories and stuff like that. So when I first hop on Twitter just like at one point they were like doing a good job on like not showing like sexy booty pictures out and, you know, porn and stuff like that on just Twitter when you first open the app, right? And then it's like, all right, cool. I don't follow any of those pages anymore. So it's like that definitely shouldn't show up. But now that they have the whole like, you know, for you, essentially for Twitter now also, like everything has a For You page where it's just like, we think you might like this, even though you don't watch any of this shit. It's like you just see a girl bent over, and it's just like, nigga, I'm just trying to get to a story. And this is like a real story right here I had to get to. So Sonya Massey, I mean, a lot of people have seen in the on the news, you know, the situation, the incident that happened with Sonya Massey where the deputy shot and killed her in her home. And I didn't watch the video, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't want to watch any more of this type of stuff, man, because like for me it sits with me for a while. I'm not like the fact that people are just watching these type of videos like this now, like it's nothing, like it's just like it's TV. That kind of like alerts me and bothers me, man. Like I don't want to be desensitized to like death like that. This is real death. This ain't movie death. I can watch this on movies because I know like they just did an interview. They just did a press junket. You know what I'm saying? After they got shot and killed in the movie. You know, so I don't even put the two, I don't correlate the two together. So when I heard about the video and I was watching it and then I saw like the headline saying like they murder her. I was just like, I'm not watching it. I immediately paused it. I was like, I started scrolling and went to somewhere else. But just hearing what people were saying, you know, and then reading what happened, it's just alarming that, you know, pretty much she's saying like, I rebuke you, right? And the cop ends up shooting her. And it's just like she didn't have a real weapon to kill you with. And that's my issue with a lot of these things. It's like this person wasn't like threatening to kill you in a sense where like they had something that can actually kill you and take you away from your family. So I understand that life and death thing was like, all right, it's me versus you. I got to get home to my family versus you got to get home to your family. I got to take you out. This wasn't even that. And you did this. You shot her and you killed her, and then the after effects of it, like the afterwards, the way he was talking afterwards was crazy. Was absolutely insane the way he was talking about the situation. That's and let me make sure, because I want to say this dude's name. His name is Sheriff Deputy Sean Grayson. I want to make sure his name is out there because fuck him. That's just out the gate, right? He's a piece of shit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But then there comes out Sonya Massey's her son. He comes out and he talks about how these officers came to their house earlier, like not too long before that. They came there earlier and they knew she had some mental health issues. They knew she did. Like they knew there was a problem there. So in that, you gotta go with like you should be a little bit more like, okay, this person's not all the way there. Let's just we can tread a little he probably ease up a little bit on this, right? Especially if she has some water boiling, whatever the case may be. It's like, bro, like you said, she's a little bit, she's off, so we don't have to shoot this lady. So the fact that I don't know, it's kind of heavy on me, but it's like the fact that they were there earlier and they knew she had an issue and then they came back and they still did what they did. You got to get rid of these guys, man. You got to get rid of these guys. It's like, I don't know to the full extent of what Trump wants to do with giving cops immunity. But this is, I mean, if he's really I never said I was going to vote for him anyway because I wasn't going to vote for him. But like, if you're thinking about voting for, like, to give cops immunity, hell, dog, they're going to be going crazy. You think they ain't wilding out right now? They're going to be going fucking crazy. If they know they have immunity, they can harm you like this and nothing can happen to them. Are you, bro, it's going to get fucking wild out here. So, I don't know, man. There was also I believe a fake video going around, like an alter video, like a deep fake or whatever, that kind of like an AI, I don't know, it was like AI alter or whatever the case may be, that essentially had her either say something or do something that she actually didn't do in the video. And that's the issue. People were making comments about it. People were like, see, this is what happened. She deserved it because she did this. And it's just like, bro, then it comes out of the video that the video was fake. That's a problem, bro. Like I said this years ago on Keenan Conspiracy Theories. That deep fake shit gonna get us in trouble. We gonna be in shit. Because it fooled some people. It fooled a lot of people, actually. So that's the crazy part about it. And then even Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk, this is like not the same thing, but Elon Musk, I think, put out like an AI version or something like that, or like some type of alter version of Kamala Harris saying something. And it's just like, I don't really fuck with Kamala like that either, but it's like, nigga. Now you out here putting out fake, like, bro, you own Twitter. You own the shit, and you're using it. This is what people were talking about. Because at first I was kind of like, Elon bought Twitter. That's kind of crazy. Like, I didn't have no issues with it. I wasn't even tripping on it. But this is where the issue comes in. When you start to be, you're the owner of Twitter, and you're using it to your advantage like this, and you're putting on AI shit of, like, people doing stuff or saying stuff. It's like, nah, bro. I can't let you sit with that. Like, I can't let you have that. Like, that's, hell nah. I can't fuck with that. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting going into the future. What's going to even be real, man? It's just podcast real. It's just even my voice. How you know this ain't an AI voice is doing this? How you know I didn't just say, hey, man, talk about this story and put it in Chat GPT, then put it in this other prompt, and put it in this voice simulator that sounds like Keenan. And then I just have it do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the shitty part about all this stuff. We're not going to even know what's real. What you know what? Just to put my tinfoil hat on, my Keenan conspiracy, not a tinfoil hat. Let me go back to my Keenan conspiracy theory days. This is like me putting my Keenan conspiracy theory hoodie back on. If you watch the show, I used to rock the hoodie. What if we are the AI? What if we are the AI version of whoever created some shit, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of years ago? Right? People talking about we came from the Anunnaki and all type of shit like that, right? What if they created us and we just kept advancing and advancing into these beings? Some of you are probably like, it's time for me to tap out, nigga. Lay off the weed. I don't smoke. So it ain't that. That's the scary part about this shit. This is just my brain. I'm 100% sober saying this shit. But what if that's the case? What if we are these altered beings that just like we figured some shit out. We kept getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And the other beings that were here that did it, that started this shit or whatever, they left to another planet, another habitable planet. They found something. They were so advanced. If you're this advanced to create some shit like this, you could probably get out of here. You know what I'm saying? What did that happen? I think I saw something recently that they said Venus or Uranus, one of those planets were habitable at some point. Like, we're 100% habitable to have people on there. And I was just like, because to me that makes sense. To me that makes sense that every planet, not every planet, but like probably most of these planets were somewhat habitable with people, some type of being or something on there. What if that's the case, man? What if Earth is just another jump to, another skip to? They got here, like, all right, let's set up shop here. Or what if these advanced beings are essentially, that's their job, is to keep inhabiting planets. So like, all right, cool. We put some people here. Let's see how we come back in a few hundred thousands of years and see how they're holding up. Every once in a while to check on them. You know what I'm saying? I always think of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, right? It's like Lord Beerus. He's a destroyer. He's just like, oh, shit's getting out of control. Gotta hit him with the the Ice Age. Gotta hit him with the flood, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I think I talked about this on the one of the previous podcasts too. When I watched Terminator, and I think I said, I was like, I thought the sun was coming down. Like that scene in Terminator 2 when everybody burnt up to a crisp. You know why that fucked me up? Because now that I think about it, I said it actually like in the IG video, whatever the case may be. And the reason why it messed me up because I think it said in, I don't know, I didn't read the Bible like that, but I think somebody read it to me in the Bible. And it's like, earth will be destroyed by fire this time around or some shit like that, right? And so that's why I thought the sun burnt us up in that scene when it was actually a nuclear bomb that like burnt everybody up in that Terminator 2 scene. I thought the sun had came down and burnt everybody to a crisp. That's what I thought happened. Then I thought it would end up being like a solar flare. Somebody told me, like, nah, it was a solar flare. I was like, oh, shit, that makes sense, too. The world's going to get destroyed by fire, so that's how it happens. But that's the thing. What if we are these beings, man? That's... I'm at a point now where I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck where we're at with this. Like, if it came out that this is the case, so the fuck what? What we're being controlled. It's like, all right, if y'all want to figure out what to do, cool. The journey that I'm on right now, I feel like I'm free. And maybe I'm not, but I feel like I'm freer than I've been in the past anyways. And I like the trajectory that I'm going with my career, my family, my love life, all that type of stuff. So I'm not necessarily tripping. Like if somebody was like, well, we found out that actually, subconsciously they're doing these things, blah, 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 blah. Because I had a theory, and now I'm going to go on a tangent about this stuff. I had a theory that Earth was a vacation place and you essentially became like like you was able to vacation here if you had a lot of money, if you were like a higher being, right? And essentially you live life as a full human. Now in the higher being's life, that's not a long time. It's probably like a day, maybe a week, whatever the case may be, maybe even an hour in their time. But for us, that however long, 80 years to them is only like a day or an hour or two, whatever, in their actual lifespan. And this is what they do to get away from what they do. It's like, oh man, I want to live something else. I want to live in a space where we're always in a space where we're so dominant. Let's live in a space where things can happen to us. And I thought about that. I was like, it's so far-fetched. But bro, I don't put anything past anything anymore, bro. I just don't. I don't put anything past anything happening. I just don't know, man. All right, I don't know. Let me lighten this shit up a little bit, man. The Olympics is going on, man. Simone Biles is out here whooping ass already. She's a dog. We already know that. USA basketball team. People talking about Bron, man. Bron is he's getting it done. Motherfuckers taking over. They done got in Joker's ass. No joke. And it's literally Bron taking over. I feel like Bron definitely he embodied what Kobe did when he came to that Olympic team that year. And, he came over with, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and Bron. I mean, Kobe just came with that mentality of like, we getting this shit done. If I got to put shit on my back, I'm putting shit on my back, but we getting it done. That's the way Bron is playing to me right now. He's playing with that chip on his shoulder, putting his team on my back. We going to get it done. Now, I think Jason Tatum and Halliburton didn't play the last game, and I think there's time for these guys to play. Like, I don't understand how you don't make time for these guys to play, but Jason Tatum, you got to play him at some point. He gets it done. So it'll be interesting to see going forward. Will this make Tatum more of a dog coming out, or will he be bitter after this? Will he be like, I ain't playing for this goofy ass USA team anymore? Like, y'all didn't play me, and I'm literally he might be in his mind a top 5 star in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting going forward. I think I don't see anybody beating, like I said before, the USA. And then they had a close game not too long ago, but I think they got it. So yeah, man. I don't know. I don't really have much else to really say for this episode, but yeah, man. Thank y'all for always tuning in every single week. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Oh yeah. So everybody that came out to my storytelling show, Bonfire Stories with me and my boy Ice McGowan. Super, super dope show. Like I said, man, we do it monthly. Tickets are already booming for August. August is already almost sold out. August 31st. Ticket links are in the bio of my IG page, on my Bonfire Stories page, and in the link in my actual Keenan Baker Instagram page, KEENAN Baker on IG. Get those tickets, man. I'm telling you, it's the best show in LA. It's one of the best shows you're going to come to. It's different. It's storytelling. Y'all get to ask questions after the stories. You get to interact. Y'all win free prizes. We do raffles. You can win T-shirts, beanies, hats. Question of the night. They get a little bundle package of like a couple different shirts, beanies, hats. They get all the stuff there. This past week we just had Brandon Cormel, we had Grace Johnson, we had Dion Lack, and Tahir Moore. And man, they got down, man. I loved it, dude. It's like to hear, not to hear. I'm sorry, Dion. He told a story about his daughters, and then he brought his daughters on stage to answer some of the questions that people might have had. And that was, we never had that element before. We never had somebody think about, like, you know what, let me kind of make this a little bit more interactive and bring the person that I'm telling the story about, right? Like I had my brother there when I told a story about us one time, but he was just in the audience. And then people would kind of be like, well, what'd your brother think? And he kind of answered from the audience. But like him bringing his daughters up was a different element, which was super dope. And then Tahir, if you know anything about Tahir's life and lifestyle, it's amazing. And the confidence and comfortability that he has in that is just, a lot of people are very afraid of that. You know, he talks about being poly, and, you know, he talks about it from a different space. You know, everybody wants to be poly, my nigga. Like, it sounds good, but can you handle it? You know what I'm saying? So he told two quick stories, and he killed it, man. Everybody killed it. Grace killed it. Brandon killed it. And this is one of those things, like, the story's only getting bigger. Shout out to Jocelyn at Black Events LA. She came to the show and she did like a trailer, like a trailer for the show on her own too. She was like, hey, I want to do kind of like a review of your show because I think your show is super dope. And she came and she did that. And I didn't know what to expect from it. She was like, oh, I meant to tell you that I did this trailer for you guys. And I just put it up or whatever. Cool. And I look up and like, oh, this is fire. Like she described our show the way we've been trying to describe our show for like since 2019. Like we've had trailers that were pretty good, but she just easily did a way better review and trailer of our show than we've ever did. And it's probably what you need. You need somebody sometimes on the outside looking in that came and experienced the show so they could give you a different feeling than you trying to describe a show that you created. You know what I'm saying? And she embodied that perfectly. So follow Black Events LA and Jocelyn. Like, you'll see her on there. Like, if you needed anything to find out about LA, it's go to her. Go to her page. She is like, and when people ask me, I'm like, yo, go to Black Events LA. Like, they have everything you need to find out. And shit, like, you know, if you in the LA in the Valley too, because people always try to say black people are not in the Valley. They here too. She got events for everywhere in Los Angeles. So definitely follow her page, Black Events LA on Instagram. Let me double check to make sure that's the exact page, because I want to get her stuff right, because she legit helped us out a lot. Because I'm telling you, like, we sold out every show this year. But usually we sell out the day of. Like, it's like, all right, people bought the last 5 tickets, you know, like a few hours before the event started. But she had us sell out. Before she posted it, we were already like halfway sold. And then when she posted it, we sold out within like the next 2 or 3 days after that. And we still had like 4 days left before the show. We've never sold out that fast before. So it's Black Events LA, but it's BLKEVENTS LA. So it's at Black Events, but the Black is spelled BLK Events LA on her Instagram. So follow her, and if you need anything Black Events wise, she is the go-to. You know, she has a lot. She put in a lot of work, a lot of time. So just thank her. Ice and I both thank her. That's from Ice and myself. And yeah, man. Come to Bonfire Stories. If there's a few more tickets left right now for August 31st, I think there's like less than 10 tickets left for August 31st. And then we'll get our September date very, very soon. I'll let you know on here about that. And that's probably going to sell out also. And get it now. Get the show. Hop on the show early. When you hop on shows like this early, you're part of the family. When you kind of come in late, it's like, oh, you're here now because of the buzz. You know, you're here now because everybody else told you about it. When you get in now, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're looked at as family. You looked at as part of the people that helped build the foundation of the show. You know what I'm saying? So get in now, man. Get them tickets if you in Los Angeles. If you visit in Los Angeles, but at around the time of August 31st, get your tickets right now because they will be gone. All right. So yeah, follow me on everything. Keenan Baker on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, all that type of stuff like that. YouTube. If you want to see the video version of this, YouTube it. I'll clip these up also. And thank you for just rocking with me, man. I appreciate y'all. And I guess a real quick thing. I'm gonna start a Patreon very soon. And this Patreon, I need y'all to subscribe and jump on this Patreon for me, man. I'm going to be doing some things for y'all, too. It's going to be only exclusive to the Patreon. Nobody else will get these things. They might get a shorter version of some of the things that I'm going to do, but they're not going to get what I'm giving you in full. And I'll never release it to them in full. It'll just be for y'all. Something I'm not going to even be able to release in full because it's going to be from, it'll probably get dinged on YouTube in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll be doing some music stuff on there and only y'all can listen to. So, yeah, man, when I get that Patreon up, please, please, please subscribe to that ASAP. All right? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Hey, I'm Just a Fan podcast. Peace.